Excellent.
Hello and welcome everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. It is 10:30 on a Friday night and it is time once again to dip into the Untold Chronicles, and tonight we will be doing episode 2 of the Gardens of Shedaklah. So without further ado, let us cut to our gaming scene and hopefully, oh, you can't see me. Technology. Let us make that happen. There you go. I have faded in beautifully there. Hopefully everybody can see me now, and more importantly, everybody can hear me. Right, so as I said, without further ado, let us do some hellos and thank yous first. Hello to our players, and thank you very much for joining us. And hello to all our viewers. Thank you very much to tuning in live, and thank you for watching it on video on demand or YouTube as well. The other things that we want to do is say thank you very much to Hero Forge for very much giving us permissions to use all of their images. Many of the images we use um, come from their website, and they very generously gave us permission to use them. So a big shout out to Hero Forge. I'm just going to read a very quick sort of disclaimer from them. But if you do get a chance, definitely check out their their website. As I said, many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures and get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. Right, a big shout out to them. Seriously, check them out. It's really good fun to kind of make all of your sort of customized character miniatures. You can 3D print them, and you can also get the file to get them 3D printed or order them live. So previously on Gardens of Shedaklah, our protagonists arrived on the Tireless, the ship that brought them from multiple continents away, close to a 3-month journey for some, as they have come to the furthest south, the southern part of the lands of the Untold Chronicles, a huge ice field, in search of this place that rumours and whispers have spread across the globe. These Gardens of Shedaklah, supposedly hidden amongst these iced wastes, is paradise. Unbelievable. Some people seeking it out to make a new life, others not really truly believing it's there and seeing it as the last refuge, the last kind of great thing to uncover. Um, they met a guide that was put on for them, and she has led them across the icy wastes, a good number of days' journey, and still they are no closer to the gardens. But far in the distance, there is an ominous mountain range looming, which seems to be your destination. They were assaulted by a couple of ice wolves. Our heroes rapidly protected the other travelers, explorers, and dealt with them. The guide, though, telling them that to leave the corpses to move on, that there is little time or safety in um, harvesting them, taking their pelts or meat. Our heroes did comment that this was a little strange, but uh, the guide was insistent and said, "You can stay here or you can follow me." And she carried on heading off. A few more days passed, and overnight as they rested uncomfortably in their snow holes. Blizzard came in, and it looks like it has settled for a while. And it is here that we find our heroes. We will, for convenience sake, say that your character is also in this snow hole. So it's been a day or so now. You know that the other travellers are substantially more inexperienced than you, and you left it for a number of hours. Oh, that was really loud. Thank you very much, Dwayne, for the subscription. I really appreciate it. You know that a number of hours have passed, but you also know going out there would endanger yourselves. So you sit around looking at each other, wondering what is the best thing to do. And this is the opening scene. Do any of you want to pass any comments?
I think Ty will look at Edius and be like, so is now a good time to venture out, do you think?
How long has it been since the last time we checked that we could get out?
It's been a good 6 hours. The snow's still obviously coming down. You're having to clear the entrance of the snow hole on a regular basis.
I'll
yeah.
do that again. I'll take the shield that I use as a shovel and dig my way up again.
Perfect.
See what I think of the weather.
Yeah, give me a survival roll. Very good. You think that it is easing off. You think that you can see potentially the end of the blizzard. It's still terrible up there, still icy death waiting for anyone that appears. But you reckon 2-4 hours and it will be manageable. It's just whether you want to risk going out there or not.
Takes a look out there, nods to himself. Not yet. Crawls back down again. I think it's breaking. But it's not safe yet. Even my it's stupid. I know how dangerous it is out there, and just knowing that all of these folks are in holes, it just makes me want to go out and help. I know that's not what you do to survive here.
Dinobrian will kind of sit up. Someone you've not noticed for the entire session because he's so boring. You could probably just sit in a corner and you wouldn't see him. But he will lean forward at this point and say, what do you think you could do in their hole to help them if you were to get out there?
Get enough of them in here.
How does that change their situation?
Enough people in one hole makes the hole warmer.
Then why didn't we do that when we made the first hole?
Because we didn't have a blizzard. Came in overnight.
Not change the situation at all if we go out there now.
No, I think we have to wait for a couple more hours and hope.
Okay, I mean, this is grim, but it's a choice, and a good point was made. If you did manage to survive and actually get to one of their holes, what use would you be? And that resonates with you all, really. What use would any of you be? It hammers home how you're all on this knife's edge, this thin thread that any point just the environment can snuff you out as if you never existed. And if they didn't search for your bodies in this snow hole, then you would be lost, forgotten, buried alive. And it's grim just sitting and waiting. Minutes feel like hours. But time does pass. And eventually, with checking, it becomes clearer. Still not pleasant. It's still terribly cold, dangerously so. But with the right gear and equipment, not fatal. If you want to leave, you are safe enough to do so now.
Has the storm cleared at daytime or nighttime?
That is a very good question. Storms are very unpredictable, and as described before, it's quite difficult to tell because of where this location is within the world, and because of the time of year. The sun is always up. Just give us a d20 roll. This isn't a skill check. You can't critically fail this. Just give us a roll. With the pangs of hunger and the kind of fitful rests, you think it's quite possibly middle of the night, although there's a sun glare out there amongst the snow that is still sort of falling. But it doesn't really matter. You know, you rest when you can and you eat when you can. I mean, you've all managed to maintain that long rest, that 8 hours of very uncomfortable rest to make sure that you are at least ready to move on. But you would say it's probably middle of the night, although nothing, all your senses are telling you something else. It's quite disorientating.
Eternal twilight.
I mean, it's beyond twilight. This is the glaring of the sun. This is not darkness. This is the time that the sun is shining all of the time. And some people think that darkness is oppressive, but people can go snowblind easily. The dazzle off the snow can send people mad. It's as equally as bad as eternal night is eternal day.
Okay. One of you keep hold of this rope. I'm going to go and see who's out there and what I can find.
Yes, of course, yes. Ty will grab the other end of the rope.
Okay.
Before you leave,
Yeah, Bob
be
Buffett will help
blessed.
with the rope as well.
Dinobrian raises a hand towards you with a symbol in it. Keep an eye out, he says. You get the vigilant blessing and advantage on initiative rolls as you're going outside.
Very good. Just describe to us the symbol that you're holding up, if that's okay, though. So what does it look like?
It's identical to the bow that he wields.
Ooh.
Is a symbol of a bow.
Very nice. So, with this blessing put upon you, you climb out. You scan, and the snow's not quite coming horizontal now, but is falling. It's safe enough, as I say, with the right equipment, which you have. The only real problem is it's been snowing heavily, and not everyone has been as vigilant as you of clearing out their snow holes. Where to start? Where to start indeed. How are you going to do this?
One of the things that Edius carries is a staff.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the reasons he carries a staff.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
It's not a 10-foot pole, unfortunately, because it's been snowing a lot.
Yeah.
But he's going to basically start by looking to see if there's any signs of danger other than snow. And then
Okay.
he's going to start calling out, see if there's any voice. If he doesn't hear any voice, he's going to start striding through the deep snow, his big solid form.
I mean, you know that everybody dug snow holes relatively close to each other. They must be in this area somewhere.
Cutting the pole into the snow, and he's hoping to find somewhere where the hope is that the snow is a bit more packed, where it had not fallen so recently. So
Yeah.
if there's a hole, it will go down deeper into the hole.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll, please. Your blessing that you've put on it, does it help ability checks, or is it saving throws and attack rolls?
No, it's a blessing which gives you advantage on initiative checks.
So just initiatives, yeah. That is good. Good to know. Very good. So using your pole, you begin to make progress. The first one you find is not pleasant. You have to dig down into it, and as you do, you can see there is a family, 3 of them, and they are frozen solid. There is nothing, not even little, there is nothing you can do for them. They are bundled together and frozen to each other.
I'm going to follow the rope back to the first hole and pass on the information.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean the I guess the good news is I got through that okay. I've got the pole. The plan's working, but I don't know. I'm not hopeful. I think I mean, I would like to find Tijuana.
Well, yes.
Strangely, I feel she's probably not dead, but I'd still like to find her.
Are you okay out there on your own, or do you want some of us out there with you?
I think you'll. I think someone needs to stay here while there's still a little bit of snow falling, just in case it picks up again. I don't want to get stranded out here. I think having the rope to follow back to the hole is probably it's prudent.
Yeah, very wise. Very wise.
But and it's hard work walking through deep snow. It takes it out of you, yeah. He sort of bangs his chest a bit, being a little bit of the Nordic strongman.
So who's going to climb out of the hole and help you carry on with the search?
I don't mind doing it myself, but if anybody wants to come and keep me company, I won't say sorry.
I will join you.
Yes, I think I might as well.
I'll stay here with the rope then.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine.
If we need you, we'll shout. Hopefully you'll hear.
Okay, well, be safe, and we'll go around the rope a little bit. Tighten up.
Okay. Perfect. So you get out and you begin to search some more, and it's takes you some time. There is the snow hole here. I'm just going to draw a couple of your snow hole is here that you dig up. I'm going to share this with you now so you can kind of see. So your snow hole is here, and Boppet is actually down underground there. The next snow hole that you dug is here, and that's where the family of 3 is unfortunately frozen to death. and you begin to sort of search a little bit more amongst this just plain of now freshly fallen snow. The snow drifts all over the place. If you're working together, you can again make another investigation roll, but you can do it with advantage this time. If anybody's got any other skills, or if you want to pitch me any things that you particularly want to do to make this easier or faster, please describe what you're doing.
I have to say that much though he knows the theory, his actual talents of investigation for Edius are not great.
I mean,
he's happy to make the role as the guy who's taking point. If
the
anybody else has got a stronger ability.
it's more a case of, if you think that survival is appropriate here, I'm more than happy for you to pitch that at me as the role that you prefer to make.
I'll certainly have a little go. Can I borrow that stick for a second?
Yeah. Pass it over. It's just a wooden staff. It's got a metal cap on the end of one end.
I will touch the metal cap and make it glow a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A light cantrip, and try and work out where the nearest hole was to us after the one we already dug up.
Perfect. You do this, and you give us what kind of skill do you want to try and do to see how close that you're going to sort of get to that?
Survival, working out.
Yeah.
Next to each other.
Absolutely. I mean, we're playing fast and loose here. If you can come up with a really creative way of using a skill, then that's just totally appropriate.
Really, we're just playing battleships right now.
Yeah. So yeah, give us a roll.
Good. That's how we start D&D.
That is a critical fail. And this is what I love about the new thing. So
appear to have been turned around in the night. I don't remember where I am.
Yeah, it's much more than that, because there are quite a few things going on. As you kind of moving forward, you do indeed find one of the snow holes. They have or were digging it out, and they failed in fully digging it out. So there was a thin layer of snow that has become sort of like iced, frosted, forming a crust, and you miss it with your stick, but your foot goes into it, and you tumble down into the snow hole itself, amongst the poor frozen corpses amongst there. I'm just going to draw you a nice little snow hole here. You can use this to remember as you just disappear from sight.
Ever seen Only Fools and Horses?
Oh.
Imagine someone leaning on the stick, but it's the stick as the bar. That's what Dinobrium manages to do, and just vanishes sideways.
Perfect.
I'm sure
It's
there's a hole around here somewhere. Need to rest.
And you find it. As you tumble down the hole, though, kind of falling prone, there's no real damage. You just kind of slide down this ice chute. No one digs holes particularly big. You see yet another family. One person that you've knocked back down the hole that was desperately trying to dig their way out. The other two individuals, again, frozen. That isn't the most disturbing thing, though, as it seems your close proximity to them, the warmth of your body seems to radiate from you, and it's difficult to see down here properly, but you get a glare from the sun coming down. It's not so much the fact you see them begin to move. It's more the cracking of the ice that has formed over them as these three poor individuals seem to animate. This is not a pleasant thing to happen, as these poor unfortunate corpses seem to have some kind of undeath within them. Do you want to give me initiatives, everybody?
I just has advantage. Oh, excellent. Good.
If I accidentally left advantage on.
No, you got it. That was right. That was what you should have done.
Yeah,
That's the right thing to do. Oh,
Yeah,
oh my
you had
goodness.
it. I gave you advantage.
Who knew? We were talking about doing investigation checks.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely fine. You got it for your initiative. Okay. I'm not quite sure why we'll give that one there. So we'll go to the top of the round and Ty. I don't know whether you're here. You see him disappear. Absolutely.
And I think Ty would be like, Dinobrian, Edius, over here, and I'll step up to the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll peer in.
Yep.
And I assume I see some horrible frozen movie things.
Absolutely. You hear the cracking and things. Yeah, I mean, they are definitely moving slowly. They look like they're going to try and sort of claw at this heat source. You recognise these things that were dead and now are coming back, a family. You know their names. This was the Swansons, child and two adults.
And just I am fully recognising that they are not the Swansons anymore, or is it?
Oh no, I mean you can see they are pale, frozen, a still rime of ice upon them as they are disjointed, as they are cracking and moving.
Okay. Cool. All right. In which case, I will be like, oh, Dinobrian. I think
it appears to be a situation.
I believe in you. You've got this. Call on that god of yours, and I'll use a bonus action to give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And then, how deep down were they? Did you say? And it's just a few feet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's no more than sort of 6 feet down.
Cool. So I think Ty will stab one with a dagger. So
Okay.
Draw a little knife out from my belt.
Now this is going to be difficult. I mean, it is a snow hole. It does mean that you would either have to go into this snow hole feet first or head first, and you do have your companion sort of in the entranceway as well.
Okay, in which I will not do that. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realise it was that.
No, I mean you're more than welcome to crawl into this snow hole and start stabbing.
Absolutely not what Ty would do at all. So
okay.
He's going to back off.
You can't blame me to give you that opportunity.
He's going to back off to there, and instead of drawing a dagger, I will draw my short bow, and I will hold an attack action for if any of the frozen corpses emerge.
Okay, there might be a fourth frozen corpse in a minute.
Almost certainly.
Then we move to Edius. You might be on mute, Edius.
Yep, no, I've been on mute.
Very good.
So the guys are down the hole. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear and you've seen Ty move forward and back. You know that something untoward is going on. It is free
Okay.
actions to speak, so feel free to communicate and role play.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and just to pop it that yeah, pop it. I think we need you out here. And then I'm gonna go and wade over to the hole, see what there is down there, see if the guys need pulling out or.
Yeah. So you've got your move action. It's free to shout, bop it.
Yeah. So I shall move to the edge there.
Yes.
Shall see interesting things occurring. And if we reach the point where this is definitely a problem that needs addressing with a big maul, then I'll loosen my weapon and lay about.
Okay.
If it's that obvious of a situation.
I mean, you can peer down the hole. At the moment, you can't really see anything. It's not like a vertical hole. There's a smaller area where Dinah Bryan has sort of slipped down. I mean, we're talking tunnel fighting here. You know, this is a very tight space. There's a ton of snow on the top. He was very unlucky to actually, or lucky, depending on how you look, to find the entrance to this snow hole.
So they've actually literally gone down the hole.
No, these are the family that are frozen in the hole that are becoming animate.
No, sorry. So can I see Dino enough to pull him out of the hole?
You can see down the hole to see Dino Bryan easily.
Yeah.
You could use your action to give him advantage.
Yeah, I'll use an action to give him assistance to try to get out of the hole.
Excellent stuff. Boom, boom. And then this one here is cracking, and it is going to attack you. Dynamite is going to sort of reach out and try and grasp you. It is still frozen over though, so at the moment, until it breaks some of this crust, it is going to be attacking with a disadvantage. So we will target you, we will do disadvantage, and it will attempt, and it misses you as it kind of touches you, trying to get purchase upon you, but does indeed still miss you. And then we move to Bop It. You hear all of this going on.
Yep. So obviously I'm in now a sort of igloo style thing at the moment. Is it normal movement? Is there any sort of movement impediments?
No, you can just crawl straight out of it. It's absolutely fine.
Cool. In which case, I will crawl out here with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold an action that anything that comes out of that hole that doesn't look like Dinah Bryan, I'm going to poke it with my spear.
Yeah, very good. Then we move to Dinah Bryan. I think Oedipus has kind of put a hand down to try and help you out, but it is up to you.
Drifts away from the hand and stands right in the centre of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this works. I'm going to cast Word of Radiance.
Very nice.
It's for radiant light. It's pretty dull, I will say. Grey, but they get to make some con saves, and the ones who fail, they take 4 radiant damage.
Okay, and it definitely burns into them. More as they
chap back up the hole. I think you're going to have to come down here and get them.
Right. It's
You're going to get me before I leave.
okay. And that's exactly what they might do. So we get to this one here. This one here again is trying to throw off the ice at the moment, but all it can do is attempt to hit you, and misses. And then this one here is going to do the same. Trying to gain purchase and get these frozen limbs moving again. But this one does hit you. Not for very much damage though, scratching you, cutting through your furs. And then we move back to the top again. Ty.
Okay. Ty is kind of stood there with his bow out, wondering what's going on. He will approach a bit, and peer. Can I peer into the hole?
Yeah.
There?
Yep, you can peer into the hole.
Can I see one of the frozen corpses to attack them?
Is this with a ranged weapon or a spell?
It would be with a short bow.
Yeah, so you're going to be not quite at disadvantage, but they'll have quite a lot of cover. You're trying to shoot down into a hole. There is kind of bits of snow falling into the hole still. So it's not an easy shot, but you're going to have -5 from your attack roll if you want to try and shoot a missile weapon down there.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to aim at number 1.
Okay.
And I will click the -5.
Yep.
And we will attack. No.
Okay. Yeah. Surprisingly close miss though. They have only an armor class of 8.
No.
So I don't know if anybody else has any abilities or effects at the moment that can throw out modifiers, but that was close. But anything else you want to do?
No, that's me.
Okay, and then we move to Edius.
Okay, so
You've cut out Edius.
completely, or am I still working now?
No, that's okay.
Perfect, sorry. Yeah, I've watched Dino Brian just not want to hound. So, whatever. The problem I have is that the main weapon that I have is a big maul, and it probably is a little bit tight down there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hole designed for warmth, not for combat, if you like.
Well, difficult. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna have to get my crossbow out.
Okay.
This is most unusual. It's not what Edius is used to, but he'll go for it because getting down there with the big maul is going to be impossible.
Yep.
If I could change places, I would.
Okay, so if you just drop your maul as a free action, I'm more than happy for you to draw your crossbow, and you can still make that attack roll.
I suspect I hadn't even got as far as drawing my maul properly yet, but
Perfect.
in either case,
Okay.
I shall fire a crossbow.
So target one of them. You will unfortunately have that same modifier. Very difficult to shoot down the hole.
There we go.
So click that -5.
So close.
Just excuse me, everybody, a moment. I'll be back very shortly. And I am back. Sorry about that. What have we done? Oh, you attacked as well and got that 7. Popular number at the moment.
Yeah. Never mind, eh?
That is indeed a miss. Trying to fight them in this very small, tight space is not easy. The Twisted Dead number 3, one of the Swansons, is trying to get into a position where it can attack better. I'm going to give it a roll to see if it's doing that. And it is. It's just going to make a straight attack this time. And misses. And then we move down to Bop It.
Yeah. So I guess if they're not coming up, I'm going down. If I can.
Okay. Yeah, you've got the advantage of being small size, so you slip down there very rapidly. And
Pop it, have you got a weapon that's smaller than my maul?
Yeah. I mean, I'll fists or a spear, I guess. So yeah, I will have the spear, and if it's looking a bit too sort of tight to get any purchase on it, I will just.
you can use the spear.
Cool. So I will, like I said, sprint down. I'm just gonna try and just jab the first one that I see.
Yeah.
I believe I'll get pack tactics because I've got.
You will do. There's most definitely. Everybody is right next to each other at the moment. So you hit and do that. Sorry, Brooks, but Bop It is at 200%.
Oh my, yes. Sorry, if I'm still very quiet, I will switch in a second. But,
No, it's okay, buddy. Brooks has just asked me to turn you up, and I've got you at max.
Cool. And then after that, I will said after I've given a jab with my spear, my other hand will just come and I'll just try and just give him a punch as well.
Okay. Oh. Yep.
And then just an additional 7 damage, and
Okay.
I will stay there for now.
Perfect. And then we move to Dinah Bryan.
Continues the grey disco.
A couple save this time.
Dale's going to have 5 radiant damage.
Yep. Excellent stuff. Twisted Dead number 1 can only attack you, and it'll be a straight roll this time. Or it is a critical hit. And you just go down. It just launches up the ice from it, and it's just on you now, and it's beginning to eat from you. Twisted Dead number 2 is going to target you. Pop it. And it hits you for 3 points of damage. And we move to Ty.
I think Ty will probably. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So Dino Brian's gone down. Yes, as a bonus action, I will shout into the hole. Bop it, my friend. Swing, stab, punch, like your life depends on it, for it very well might. And I will give him Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. You have, I believe, a D6 Bardic Inspiration at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. And then I will shoot another short bow shot at one of them.
Okay.
So we will target that one. Oh, -5. Sorry, I almost forgot. There we go.
It is a critical hit this time.
Nice.
Very nice. Heavily damaging them.
That is me.
Okay. And then we move to Edius.
Can I reach the one that's like right underneath me with like hand weapons?
Like I said
Twisted Dead number 2.
like I said to Ty, you'd probably have to go down head first to sort of go down there. There is a space, a kind of semi-space where Dino Brian has fallen, his blood staining the snow red. But combat down there in this hole is obviously deadly. There are 3 of these things that are swarming around. It's going to be difficult to do melee attacks from the entrance.
He's just going to dive in head first and go in with his fists.
Okay.
He's trying to get to Dino Brian.
Okay. So did you want to sort of get to the side there, something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then just try and just go head first in and just try and smash one of these creatures.
So you slide
just
down.
Bare fists.
Give us. Well, you're targeting one of them, number 3, which would
So
you would
target
have to
number
be
2.
Yeah, you can do number 2.
And target that. Is that it?
Yep.
I think I've done that right. And then I'm just going to try and just smash it.
Give us.
I'm going to try and do. Do we actually have an armed attack in our actions?
Probably not, but
No.
it will be you.
Roll a D20
plus your +3 for strength. It is a critical hit. That is most definitely a hit. Unfortunately, fists don't do a lot. They do 1 plus your strength modifier. So you'll be doing 4 points of damage to number 2. Number 2, crit doesn't work with that. So number 2, where are you? Number 2, 4 points is still not enough to take it down, as you are lashing out with your fists at it. Things are not looking good here. Twisted Dead, number 3, which is this one here, is going to take an attack against you, Boppet.
Yep.
And it hits you. And you go down as well. Things are looking terrifyingly grim. It seems going down a hole and fighting 3 of these creatures is not the best option. And to make things worse, Boppet gets a critical fail, making 2 death fails.
No.
You get a success though, Dino Brian. Twisted Dead number 1 is going to target you, Edius, who jumped down the hole. And critically fails to hit you. Twisted Dead number 2, though, is going to do the same thing. And misses you. And we go to the top, Ty.
Ty is panicking somewhat. So I will use my 3rd and final bardic inspiration and call to Edius. Get out that big maul, man, and start swinging. And I will then, that's bonus action for my action. I am going to cast Vicious Mockery on number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You're a giant popsicle, nothing more.
Perfect. Oh, very good. Critical success.
No.
No. So it's critical success in the save. Oh, no.
Yeah. That's not good.
That is not good at all. As it shakes it off. Did you give Boppet? Oh no, it was a natural one, so it wouldn't have made any difference anyway. Okay. Are you going to stay there though?
Might back off a little bit. Not
We move to Edius.
Okay, so I dropped the crossbow on my way in to punch things.
Yep.
So still got my maul on me. Do I think I can actually swing it in here at all?
I mean, the advantage is that your two companions are now flat on the floor, not
Yeah,
taking
there's
up
plenty
a
of space
huge
down
amount of
here now.
space. The bad news is that there are 3 of these things. The choices that you have fundamentally is to try and take 3 of these things on, disengage, leave this place and draw them out so there's more space, and hope that your companions can survive down here. Hope that these things follow you out maybe, but the choice is yours, as it always is.
I'm gonna try and see if there's room to swing them all.
Yep, you can swing them all.
And I'm gonna try and just take down number 2.
Okay.
With the maul. So straight roll.
Yeah, just a normal attack. You do indeed hit. And it is enough as you take down one of them with that hit. You still have a bonus action, and you still have a move action. What would you like to do?
I'm literally just going to stand over these 2 to sort of protect them
Okay.
a little bit.
That sounds good to me.
I'm not wounded, am I?
You are not at the moment.
So yeah, I'm going to use my second wind.
You're not wounded.
I'm going to use my action surge.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my action surge, not my second wind. I'm not wounded.
Okay. Use your
I
action
used the
surge.
wrong ability there for a second.
That's
yeah.
okay.
So I'm gonna hit out of Twisted Dead 1 and Twisted Dead 3. I'm gonna hit Twisted Dead 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Give me a swing. It is a critical hit. I love it when the dice tell the stories. You take the second one down. Very nice. Leaving only one left.
I'll turn on it.
Okay.
Ready.
This is the wife, Gloria, and she, through sort of cataract kind of icy glaze, just leaps at you now, and attempts to rip your throat out. And misses. Oh, that was so close to a natural 20 there, Botbit. So close.
Still a success though, which is
It is.
good.
That is also a success. Sorry, Ty, it is your go.
I will pop down to there so I can kind of get a bit of an eye in.
Yeah, there is just, I mean, so much blood. The snow is just stained red.
And I think he will shout again an insult and cast Vicious Mockery.
It seems they just do not understand your words.
They really don't. Yeah, I'm out of.
They are proud of their popsicle nature.
I'm out of useful bonus actions. I think that is
Okay.
me.
So we move to Edius. This one isn't
Looking at her,
particularly
saying,
damaged.
"You shouldn't have come," and I'll hit her.
Okay. You still hit. You need to target, but
Sorry there, Andy.
that's okay. I can knock that up to 16, but it isn't enough damage though beyond blooded. Anything else?
No, I think that is my limitations at the moment.
So she does the same again, attempting to swipe at you, and does indeed hit you this time, ripping at your throat, desperate to feed on your flesh. That is a success again, Boppet.
2-2.
And you stabilize Dino Brian. Ty, it is your go.
I think I'm confident that Edius has got this. I'm going to jump into the snow hole, and
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to stabilize Boppet.
Okay, so this is traditionally, rules as written, a medicine roll, unless you want to pitch any other kind of craziness. You don't have to. I'm just throwing out options there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think maybe trying to tap into the kind of nature of the Feywild where I'm from. I'm going to try and effectively try to persuade the nature of his body to heal. So I'm going to pitch a nature check.
Okay. Okay. I mean, how desperately would you want this to happen? Would you prefer, you being Eladrin, you being Fey, would you prefer to enter some kind of deal, some kind of quid pro quo, some kind of health from you to him? Or is that too higher a price to pay?
No. The Ty is nothing if not impetuous and instinctive. So yes, if he feels that that's something that would help, he would do it.
You have seen these kind of things happen in the Feywild. You have no idea whether it can happen here. Let us roll a nature roll, and if you are successful, the consequences to you will be substantially less than you fail, and substantially less if you critically fail.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! But you've chosen a skill that you're skilled in, so hopefully.
I mean, if I was going for that, I'd have tried to persuade him out of being dead, but I'm not sure that would have worked. So let's try it.
Look at that. So doing the nature rather than medicine. Nature is associated with medicine. You can easily see the rationale there. So my GM's brain is saying it's a good success, not a critical one, but a good one. So I'm going to say that you do stabilize him, and knowing the rituals that have been done before, you lose 1 hit point. But that 1 hit point is transferred to Boppet, bringing him around on 9 and removing the unconscious and the need for doing that. I've kind of said the rules you think behind it. How do you want to dress that up cinematically?
So yeah, I think I'd kneel down, place my hand on Boppet's chest, and close my eyes, and I would start to internally tell myself a story that I'd heard growing up from my grandfather about two star-crossed lovers who had transferred life force. One had transferred the life force to the other in order to save them from certain death. And just channeled that story and then projected it into Boppet's chest.
Yeah. And it works. You're not sure though whether it was your nature or whether you've done something that you've heard of in legend, which is story weaving. This is the way that words themselves can re-knit reality together. Fascinating. But whatever the cause, it has worked. So for now, be grateful. Edius. It is hammer time, I believe.
It absolutely is. He sort of half hears this story going on. Always a story with you.
As I say, they haven't got a high armor class even with the 5 you hit. And you take this thing down as well. This Gloria, this Miss Swanson, condemned to this snow hole. And yes, it falls quiet again. You see Boppet kind of conscious. Much of his blood from his small body spread around this snow hole. I mean, Dinah Bryan seems to be breathing, but in a very bad state. You are
a story for him.
Out of initiatives now.
Boppet, are you okay?
And Boppet will sort of, his eyes will just open a little as he sort of feels like crap, but he will turn and look and just smile and say, yeah, I think so. Those guys packed quite a punch, didn't they?
Yes, indeed. And you'll see kind of Ty's eyes are sort of like there's a little kind of water around them, and he just grabs you in a big hug.
There is. You feel his little arms try and wrap around you, but they probably just, there is a reciprocant hug back. Is everything all right? Are we good?
I know it's down.
Does anybody have anything?
Edius will at least go and try to attend to him.
Yeah, give me a medicine roll.
Yeah, he's kind of not confident with his medicine. Can I know if you've got anything that will heal?
I mean, I could try something like I just did again. I'm not entirely sure what happened, though, to be honest.
I'm a bit. I'm as likely to make it worse as I am to make it better. I don't do mending things very well.
No.
Yes. Well, let me take a look, and I will kneel down next to Dinobrian and kind of try and do a similar thing and see if it works.
Now, the interesting thing is that you're not in a stressful situation at the moment. And if what you actually did was story weaving, it's potentially very dangerous. It's not something, if everybody could make their words into reality, everybody would do it. You are aware that there are repercussions, but if you want to try and do the same thing again, you are more than welcome to try.
So, yeah, if that's something that I would be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can try and hold the wounds together if someone else can do the bandaging.
Yes, I would happily help.
It seems the cold down here has staunched the blood. He's not in danger of dying, and as you sort of look over his body, you think he might come into consciousness in about 3 hours or so. It's just if you have any tonics or magical healing, it will bring him round a lot faster.
Nope, I have nothing like that.
No, I've got nothing. Sorry, guys.
hold on. So someone else might dive out of the hole.
And you see as you kind of come out of the hole that many of the others have been digging their way up out of the snow holes as well.
Oh, I'm very glad to see you all. Tikana, do you happen to have anything that might bring around someone who's unconscious?
This is the problem with this place. The cold can get to people. I have something that will, and she smiles, help him.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Let me down. She kind of moves in.
Make space, everyone.
Okay. And she gets some what appears to be herbs out of a pouch, and she begins to flake them, and you notice that it's kind of almost like a mushroom, and as she rubs the bottom bits there are kind of spores released, and they kind of flow up, and she blows them into his face. You see the spores go up his nose, into his mouth, as he's breathing in and out. And over a few minutes, he becomes to come round into consciousness.
How very embarrassing. Well, that did not go to plan. And Dinobrian kind of places a hand on his own chest and casts.
Thank you very much for the anonymous gift.
Are you okay, Donovan?
I'll be fine. How's the saying go? Physician, heal thyself.
Ooh, that's very good. I'm going to write that down. Hold on.
Yeah, but next time, take my hand, yeah? We'll get you out. So you
Next
don't have to.
time, maybe come in the hole quicker.
Yeah.
Ugh. Is everybody else okay?
Edius
Yeah.
has at least got the good grace to have an injury. But it's not a big injury. He looks like he's probably okay, really.
Puppet's gone to get some fresh air, but if you did see him, he would look.
Yeah, Boppet does not look in a good way.
But yeah, he's sort of left that very small cave that's covered in his own blood.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Come here, little kobold.
Well, his little head will peek back around the cave.
Yeah. Maybe you get a little bit of this too. And I will cast Cure Wounds on you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dark Divine. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of all of you.
I think in the future, yeah, maybe I shouldn't put myself in a dangerous situation.
Yes, holes in the ice with those things seem to be fraught with peril.
I kind of pick up Idis's stick. Okay. You can do the poking with the stick in the future. I'll leave that to you.
It was a good idea with the light, though. I can't do stuff like that. Maybe you light the stick, I'll poke with it.
Maybe. Oh, what's the plan? Are we heading off?
Tikwana, she says yes, the weather has slowed it is better that we still have far to go. We have
Well,
lost some here.
Tijuana, I've never seen this happen in the white. Does it happen often down here?
It does. But it is the warmth, the heat that they sense. If they are deep buried, they will trouble no one.
Should we take some time and bury them? There's 3 more over there.
If you wish, I prepare to leave. Do what you must.
You're gonna wait for us if we do.
We have already lost much time. What is more important to you, reaching the gardens or this?
I mean, it's not going to take us very long. We'll only be,
Our duty should be to the living, not the dead. Every second we wait, we risk our own lives.
Very, well, may I say, grey view of the world. Dinobrian. All I know is that if I were to have fallen in the middle of an ice field, I would pass on to the next life, grateful if someone had stopped and taken a moment to ensure I was properly buried.
Don't fall in an ice field then, says he. Just slaps him on the shoulder, says, come on, we'll leave them, we go. Let's not get stuck and die.
Very well.
It's the way of the ice. It doesn't care.
That doesn't mean that we don't have to.
Okay, she shrugs and begins to set off.
And he just shrugs and follows her.
There are many of these sort of travellers, these common folk that sort of flock to her side. But you have lost a few to that blizzard. Only the 3 that you battled in the snow hole, and the 3 that you have no idea whether they will stir or not. With more snow quite possibly due, they will no doubt get buried. Okay, so a very close call, but time passes. Tijuana is relentless in marching you towards these mountains, and it is an unbelievable sight. You think that you would reach them soon, but you soon begin to realize how massive they must actually be, as it feels like whilst they are constantly in sight, you are getting no closer and closer. Days pass, and it is very similar again. I'm going to give you long rests. It is very similar again that she leaves the 4 of you to yourselves, but the weaker ones, the ones that perhaps need more help, she on a rota invites them into her snow hole to ensure that they are well cared for and protected.
Andy, I assume I'll ask. The general morale is not good.
No, I mean, she's not here to raise morale and certainly doesn't do anything. She's quite stoic moving forward at a steady pace, but it's a relentless steady pace. She's not going so fast that everybody is falling behind, but if people did stumble and couldn't make it, you get that very feeling that she would perhaps just leave them behind.
I think Ty would probably pick a point where he thinks that everyone is not in a good place. I don't know if there's been a prolonged period of silence.
Yeah.
And like that, and move to the center of the group, and he'll say, hey, everybody, whilst we walk, maybe a story would do us good. Gather closer as we walk, and let me tell you the story of Benery and Equanior and the thorny grove of Shedaklah.
Boppet will certainly make his way right next to Ty at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very good, Boppet. That's right. Well, let me tell you about a young elf by the name of Benery and his centaur best friend Equanior. They grew restless one summer's morning, decided to explore deep into the forests. For more than a day of travel, the forest became sickened and twisted. They found themselves in a cruel and unfriendly setting. And Ty will then go on to tell a lengthy tale about these two plucky young sort of fae, and very much almost sort of 80s Goonies sort of style adventure romp. And as he draws to the end of the story, he says, and Benery climbed onto Equanior's back and they galloped through the dense thickets, thorns cutting them in their haste. Benery drew his hand back, and when he saw the grey and desolate soul tree at the heart of the grove, he cast forth the healing seed given to him by the fairies, smashed into the side, and suddenly a moaning issued forth. The spectre who had for so long possessed Shedakhlah's soul tree was banished. As Shedakhlah's eyes cleared, she looked up to see the bark of her soul tree return to health. Small leaves started to sprout from its branches, and it was that moment she realized that this young elf and his companion had not only revived her grove, but also her heart. With a flourish, he will finish.
Yeah, they are definitely moved by it. You have choices here. You can make an ability check roll if you want. It's definitely had a degree of desired effect. But if you sort of beat the standard DC, you will have most definitely raised the spirits and morale of everybody to have a definite positive effect on the next few days' journey. The danger of doing an ability check is you could just get unlucky. But
Elias will smile and he will clap loudly as the story comes to an end and try another attempt to raise people's.
Yeah, that's good.
To perhaps give a little bit of assistance.
The exception to all this is Dinobrian, who's basically trying to blank it all out.
Are you a few sort of steps behind?
The more it inspires people, the less it inspires him.
Through excellent role play, and because EDS is attempting to
everyone
try and help.
Going, get the clapping going. And
I'm going to say yes, definitely. Roll with advantage.
Cool. So this would be performance, I assume.
Yes, I mean, again, unless you want to kind of go off-road and pitch me some kind of other bizarre thing, but performance is the good choice.
There we go.
And look at that. Yeah, that is a critical success. So this is the thing. DC was 13, and you got 10 more than the DC. So very, very motivated. It's definitely lifted the spirits up substantially. The speed increases, and it becomes a little draining on you as time passes, and then they begin to ask again, have you got another story or a song to help us? Dino Brian is.
No, he's not doing that. He is not doing that.
I thought he was doing something else.
Well, as they're asking, Ty will go, certainly. I can probably play something and pull out a flute.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I do indeed have a flute. Yeah. And I will I will play a song on my flute to try and lift some spirits as well.
Perfect. This is all within that strange sort of same performance role. You've made made some good friends here. They really can't really tell you how much it means to them that you're keeping their spirits up when you're in this desert of white, these mountains never ever getting closer, their guide always a good number of steps ahead of them, this just relentless trudge through the snow. And even some of the most positive of these common folk are beginning to wonder if the gardens truly exist.
Elias will actually again assist when the music starts.
Yep.
He is proficient with the drums, and he will take his staff with the metal tip and he'll tap it against his shield in time with the beat to try and bring that along as well.
Absolutely.
Which I hope you're saying is part of the role, but he's going to do part of the assistance again.
Yeah.
Just to keep this going.
No, I mean it's character forming, and they do enjoy that, and it's pretty much as soon as you start doing that, it's kind of the gate to someone's playing along. So one of the women begin to sort of sing a little song, and it becomes much more of not just a performance by Ty, but a community is forming, something that you haven't really felt since you even before got on the boat, and you begin to bond, you begin to get people's first names, and I mean this is a good thing, isn't it? I mean getting to know people is good, provided they survive. Knowing people when they die at least means that you can put their names on their grave markers, perhaps.
No grave markers in the ice, Andy.
Well, pleasant thoughts. Time moves on. Day.
Yeah, when we follow time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's his name.
Yeah.
Been waiting for that all day.
Very good. Very good.
People say laughter is the best medicine. Those people are idiots.
So,
sorry, Andy.
That's okay. A couple more days sort of pass. Spirits are going well. It is at this point, as you dig your snow hole for the night and you begin to rest up, and again, sort of, are you going to bother taking watches? I mean, you haven't really been troubled by much so far.
Probably, I guess. I mean, it makes sense to. And Boppet's happy to take at least,
Yeah.
a foot watch. So, yeah.
I'm just inquiring on the states of all of your mines. So, snow holes are dug again, and it seems, as usual, you four are all together, not even invited into the snow hole of Tukana. These separate out a couple of other snow holes. One of the benefits of losing a few people is there's less need for snow holes being sort of dug. And time passes. Can you all give me perception rolls, please? Okay. Yeah, Edius.
Really, really important that we keep watch carefully. Anything could come in the snow.
And that's exactly what you do, which is why you don't see the thing. You're kind of constantly looking out of the snow hole, making sure that there's not going to be the same situation again. You don't want to lose any more people, and you certainly don't want the warmth to raise them from their icy graves. It's the other three of you, though, that notice something not easy to see. Daytime movement through the snow is the glare and the cold. Two things that are totally out of balance. When there is light, there should be warmth, but this place is devoid of that, and it's disorientating, and you have to wrap up, you have to cover yourselves, your faces, your head, even your eyes, especially yourself, Boppet, with sunlight sensitivity. And the only blessed relief from all of these coverings that you have to wear as you're traveling is when you make these snow holes. And don't get me wrong, you still have to wrap up warm, but at least you can take some things away from your face and breathe a little. And Dinah Bryan, you begin to sort of scratch at an itch, and you kind of notice you are developing some kind of rash between your ear and down to your neck. Boppet and Ty, you both sort of see Dinah Bryan sort of scratch and scratch and scratch again till it becomes obvious to both of you that something's not quite right here. And as you raise your oil lamp, you begin to see something's growing on his skin.
There's something as a medical man, Dino Boone will very quickly turn his mind towards herbalism and the like, and things that you know would normally treat rashes, to think what could possibly cause this.
Okay.
Be intently thinking upon what on earth could have caused this, because we're not in the kind of place where rashes should be happening that much. So
not at all. This is definitely unusual. Give us, I don't know, do you want to do a herbalism roll? Would you prefer to do a medicine roll?
The same stat for my character. So,
well, I mean, how would you cinematically want to pitch it in terms of what are you using and what are you doing rather than mechanics?
He has a herbalism kit, so he's thinking about herbs that he has, which he knows treats rashes in the past, and if this rash matches up to any of the herbs that he knows he's used in the past. He might not have those herbs on him right now, but he's thinking about what herbs would treat this rash.
That is
He's going
perfect.
through his head and thinking about previous patients and how they have been cured.
Okay. None of this makes sense to you. And as you kind of do it, and you do, there is something there as well that you scratch off, and as you scratch it off, you scratch some of your flesh away as well. And as you examine it with that roll, which is a success, it's strange. You've never seen anything like this before on somebody, but you've seen it plenty of times in nature. It's almost like your flesh is becoming kind of rotten, and it's almost like fungus is growing upon you. And that is where we will leave it till next session.
Ideal.
Obviously, Boppet and Ty, you've kind of seen this unfold, so just remember that for the next session. Well, there we go. I thought we were going to have a TPK there. It was looking crazy bad. It was insane, but you stood the dice, told the story, and you survived. The good news is, strange growths or not, you have leveled up to level 2 now, so we'll sort that out next session. Which hopefully will give you a little bit more survivability. And we will start investigating what on earth is up with Dinah Bryan. I'm sure there's nothing to be particularly worried about. So yeah, thank you to you players. I hope you enjoyed that. It was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster there. I was quite anxious for you, wondering, well, is the rest of the session going to be rolling new characters? Yeah, that was very cool. In many different ways, considering your location. I want to say thanks to all the viewers. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the subscriptions as well that have came in tonight. Some beautiful resubs, so really appreciate that. Tomorrow night we will return for more Untold Chronicles with Iona, and something dark is happening in those lovely, beautiful islands. In the meantime, then, good night to everybody. Stay safe, and we'll catch you all very, very soon.